Yo, we're here. Hey, guys. There's Old Man G here, back again with another match preview. Sorry, guys. I should really schedule these things, but my life is quite chaotic right now regarding timing when I have time for things, So I appreciate that I should be better at scheduling these match previews and knowing when to go live to give you guys a heads up. But we're live anyway, So let's go into this match preview. It's not going to be long. Shout out to put you live in the comments. It's going to be a brief sort of 10-minute preview. United versus Spurs in what is, I think, a quite important game today. Shouts to Raymond Moore. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's gonna be a brief stream. But it's a game that there's a lot riding on, to be honest. I think for both managers, I don't think there is really pressure on the Jose really this year to actually get into top four. Personally, I think the Tottenham fan base, and I think in the manager in particular, I think the most important thing for Jose is to basically get a trophy. If I'm honest, I'm really honest about this. I'm like, if Tottenham don't get top four, but say get a Carabao Cup or get an FA Cup, I think that would be a good season for Spurs. And so I don't think that we have the same expectation going. However, Jose Mourinho. Green tea is good. Jose Mourinho will, because of how United dealt with him, and you could argue based on how the United doing Ollie, that certain people up top are the problem. But you could argue, that he has beef and probably still does have beef and has a point to prove, and that is typical Jose Mourinho. But essentially what I'm saying is he's not going to want to lose. He's going away. Spurs obviously are without, and this is the I think key thing is Spurs are without Son. Son isn't going to play. Well, Dele Alli is obviously who scored the goal against us. I think has been frozen out of the squad. Harry Kane, I think is fit, so I think he's good. He's good to go as well. So really, to be honest, to me, the main danger, who in my opinion it was Son Min is not actually playing in this game. So I anticipate that Bergwijn, I think, will come in, and so Spurs will play like how we're playing a 4-2-3-1 with I think Winks and possibly Sissoko as the holding. I'd get to Spurs podcast on, but he's busy, so he'd go through things. But Dyer, I presume, will also be a centre back as well. But the big thing I think going into this game is that Spurs are going to be without Son and Min because he's had a hamstring injury. And on a side note, I mean, this is the thing that I would say about this whole season and the depth of our squad. Why we need to get more signings in is because this season is going to be a lot shorter, than previous seasons, and so because of that, there's going to be a lot more games. And I know a lot of fans are like, "Oh, get rid of 5 substitution rule. It's trash. We don't need it." Blah 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 blah. But the problem, guys, is that it means there's going to be more injuries. They haven't scrapped the Carabao Cup. They're not scrapped legs in the FA Cup. So we're going to have game after game after game. I mean, I've looked. I know a lot of people are happy that United beat Brighton, but the reality is that means that in the Sunday, I think there's like a week where we literally play 6 games and possibly in 10 days. That's a bit extreme, but 4 games in 10 days or something ridiculous like that, because we have Champions League, Carabao Cup, Arsenal, etc. So it's not necessarily good. I think that it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Raymond Moore, I prefer Bailly and Lindelof. Am I crazy? No, you're not. And we're actually going to go into this is how I think Solskjaer will line up. I.e., this is how I think Solskjaer should line up. And there is a query in midfield. Terence, I don't know if you will bench Pogba just yet. Ocampos is coming. You're not crazy. You're crazy. Is that Ocampos is coming? Is that a here we go from Fabrizio Romano? Because I know that we struggled to get we're struggling to get a Telles through. But yeah, as soon as I've got to see here we go from Fabrizio Romano first before I believe any transfers that are coming to United at this stage, because the United are a joke when it comes to that type of thing. Anyway, let's go into who I think is going to start. Or my score prediction is it's going to be quite brief, 10 minutes. I've got a few things to do. De Gea is going to be in goal. I don't think that, although I love the way that Henderson played, the way that he played against Brighton, I think he made a fantastic save, and I think that he's certainly within a shout. And I think that De Gea obviously has to. He started well, and maybe this is the thing: when you have competition for your place, up your game. If you have pride, So we'll see what happens. But I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to drop David De Gea. So David De Gea will obviously start for Manchester United. The centre-back pairing is the interesting one. Harry Maguire did pick up a knock. It sounds like from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference that Ole Maguire will be fit. By the way, Solskjaer sounded really, really pissed. Excuse my language. Solskjaer sounded very, very unhappy and frustrated in his press conference, being asked a lot of questions that weren't really appropriate. It's clear that he wants signings. It's clear that he needs signings. Whether he'll get them or not remains to be seen. The centre-back pairing. Raymond Moazi says he prefers Lindelof over. By Lindelof instead of Maguire. To be honest, if Maguire hasn't had a knock, I don't know. For me, if I was Ollie, I would say Lindelof and Bay. If Maguire had a knock, why risk it? Why is he playing with, and this happened, I think, last season where he got a bit injured and he played, and it was like, if you're not fully fit and if you're not 100%, and if you're not ready to go, then for me, you shouldn't play. If there's other options that are available that are fitter, in my personal opinion. So I would rather not have a 60% Maguire playing if it means that he's going to be slow, make mistakes, not able to cover because he's nursing an injury. Because I don't want to hear a couple of months down the line that, he was nursing an injury as we were playing when you had other centre-back alternatives on the bench. That's my 2 cents anyway. So I would start buying I think it'll be buying Maguire because I anticipate that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to play Maguire. The question is going to be Lindelof or Bay. And as much as I want this centre-back pairing to be it, I have a sneaky suspicion that it won't be, and that he won't, and he'll pick Lindelof again as well. And something, I know there's a lot of Ole discussion, coaching, stuff like that, and I get that. It's not his fault. The only thing I would say is that he still does pick the team. So him picking Lindelof into the buy is not Ed Woodward's fault. It's not the Glazers' fault. Yes, we need more centre-backs. I get that. But it's not their fault. It's Ollie's fault. Buy is there. He can play. You pick him. Okay? So we can't... Yes, there's a lot of necessary, anger directed to the board, but I like to try and separate between the things that Ollie, the manager, the players can control, and the things that we can't control. So we can't control transfers. We can't. So you can't blame Ollie or the players regarding weaknesses in particular areas or the lack of transfer, because that's not up to them. Okay, it's not up to them. However, you can control what you have in terms of players that you have, and if it's obvious that certain players are better performers than others, then you pick him. And that's why, for me, Bayer has shown in the games this way, even though they've been against less opposition, that he can mount the back, and we should play him. Saral Daz says Lindelof's physical ability and pace is a little shaky right now. Bayer is better player that way, but he's a bit rash. Might take a yellow red card. Two things about that. One, I think that with Lindelof, it's with his confidence. I think it's his confidence that's been pushed back. Personally, I think that it hasn't helped that there's been a lot of what I would call Twitter outrage, and social media people just regarding Lindelof, in my personal opinion. So I think that's a problem. And obviously, we've got to bear in mind players see this stuff, and so because players see this stuff, they're gonna not be confident. And I don't think Lindelof has suffered a bit from that, in my personal opinion. The second thing about this is something that I hear a lot over and over and over again, and I'm like, what are we judging this? Are we judging this on by his recent performances? Are we judging these based on his past performances? Okay, because we can't judge Bailly based on what he did a year or two ago, and then say, right, okay, we're going to only focus on what likes of Martial and Rashford do this season. So from what I recall from this year, when Bailly's played, I don't know when he's picked up an unnecessary red card. He hasn't been sent off, as far as I'm aware. Yellow card, nothing particularly rash, really. Has he gone into challenges? Yes. Has he won those challenges? Absolutely. I don't get it, So in terms of where's the rashness? Where's the mistakes? Because I see the mistakes in Maguire and Lindelof. I don't see them with Bailly. I see someone who has recovery pace, who can come back and do a job and compensate for our lack of mobile midfielders, in my personal opinion. Why not use Diego Dallo more often? Well, according to Fabrizio Romano, there's a tug of war between AC Milan and Roma. So clearly, Oli doesn't want him in his plans. I presume that means that I assume, and I'm only guessing here, if Oli wants to sign Diego Dallo and sell him, then it must be that we've got to get a left back, because then Brandon Williams to me becomes the backup to Wan-Bissaka, being right-footed, and we get a left back to be backup for sure, alternate. That's how I see it. If we let Dallo go, because we have to sign a left back, basically another fullback, we have to. Because then the only backups you have are, if Dallo goes, it's just Foster-Mensah. If Lindelof gets injured, we have Foster-Mensah and Brandon Williams. That's it, and that's not good enough. Shout out to Raz, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you do well. She's watching on Twitch. Thank you so much, buddy. Member of the channel as well. Always shout out to the members. Thank you so much for your support, Rasmus. I really, really do appreciate it. Even though I should be doing more stuff, and I will be doing more stuff, and I'll contact you about that. Oh, I forgot I've got a Red Devil Live podcast on soon. I might have to actually pause that. Cancel that. I'll cancel that. It's going on live. Official 921 sees I'm giving Oli 10 games. If I don't see any improvement in terms of patterns of play, I'm going to see start manager and maybe Poch in for me. Well, when people say patterns of play, what do they mean? I see a lot of this. Solskjaer doesn't know what he's doing. Solskjaer doesn't, he's all over the place. The guy finished third last season. And yes, okay, you could say that it was a terrible season, whatever. At the end of the day, he finished third in 3 semi-finals. I think you have to at least know what you're doing to get there. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he's perfect, but to be third in the league and to get to 3 semi-finals, you have to at least know what you're doing. You can't fluke all of that. You know what I mean? There's got to be some level of I know what I have an idea, I have a game plan. And it's clear what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's game plan is. I know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's game plan is. The issue for me with Solskjaer is picking the right players to execute that is an issue. The backing, which isn't his fault, but also a lack of a plan B. So what is your plan B when planning doesn't work? And for me, that's the big thing. That's the big thing. And it's just a chance to put exactly. I don't mind players being rash if they win the ball, they win the challenges. Who cares? That's what defenders. I think unfortunately with this generation we're blinded by all defenders have to be silky smooth and bring up the ball and blah 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 blah. That should. At the end of the day, your job first and foremost is to defend. That's my personal opinion. 2 seconds, guys. Let me know. Sorry, I know I'm live. I'm just send a quick text. Okay, back. Let's have a look. Yeah. Mo, shout out to you, Mo. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for subscribing, by the way, from Have Hope. Should we start VDB ahead of Greenwood in games against better teams? Round peg and square holes, I know, but we don't have the options. What you mean as a wing on the right wing? On the right wing, I don't know. I don't think so. We shouldn't. I get what you're saying. I think we're still figuring out where VDB fits in this team. Personally, for me, I feel his better position as is attacking, as Cam, is especially where Bruno plays. But it was interesting to see him play off the left wing. I thought that was very interesting. And for me, especially because at times, although fair play to Rashford, I've had issue with Rashford for quite a bit, but last week he bailed us out. But I feel like if you, for example, want to change things up front and make our football more attacking, then maybe, for example, take Rashford off if we don't trust Igalo, and put Van der Beek to the left, put Martial central, and keep Greenwood on the right. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. So you can have Pogba, then Bruno on, and then Matic, and they can all kind of go ahead and then pass. Honourable shout out to Mata, though. I do think that Mata still has a role to play in this team as well. We should give enough seasons to managers. It took 5 seasons to win the league. It doesn't happen in a season. Our teams are winning or take time. You're right. The only thing is I don't want to see Liverpool win more titles, for me, and I certainly don't want to spend 5 years building a team to get even close to Liverpool, because then they'll be 3 by 5. So I'm impatient, I know, but I just don't want to see Liverpool winning any more titles, in my personal opinion. Anyway, 17 minutes. Geez, it's supposed to be a 10-minute video, and here we are. But you guys are in the comments, and I'm responding to you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in. Sean and Wan-Bissaka obviously are going to be on the left and the right. I don't see anyone else really coming in unless it's going to be Sean Williams. Shaw really needs to up his game, to be perfectly honest. Matic, I think, is going to come back into the team. Matic, I think, was one of our best players against Brighton. He's important. He really, really is important. So I think he comes in, especially with his ability to pass the ball, is better than McTominay and Fred. So he has to play. The midfield now becomes interesting. I expect that Ollie will go with Pogba and I expect he'll go with Pogba and Fernandes. I don't think it's got to the point that Van der Beek is going to solidified his role, 100%. I think Van der Beek is still in the impact mode, so I expect Pogba to be there, possibly with Bruno coming up. But to be honest, it would be interesting if Bruno got subbed and then you put Van der Beek on and then Pogba Van der Beek, because again they could interchange. I think what I want to see is some fluidity. I want to see Bruno sometimes playing where Pogba's playing. I want to see Pogba playing where Bruno's playing. I think that what I would like to see in this midfield is a bit of, aside from Matic, a bit of dynamism, because I think that's our best bet to get the best out of all 3 of these players, because Pogba, Fernandes, and Van der Beek, all these players seem to be best in a 10-ish 8 type of role, and we need to balance with that. We need to adjust it, and hopefully it will work out. Suspect Dream says, "Yo, what's good? You should lot of looking forward to Diamond Marshall and Ash up front. Bruno as Cam, Pogba's and Vidi as number 6, and match and try reducing whip to benefit more. We have tried that before. Not of those players, but it was against Everton. We did try that and it didn't work. It really didn't work. If we did try that in the preseason and did that all preseason, then I would get it. But we tried it against Everton and I think one other team, which mistakes me. And it just, Rashford and Marshall up top look lost and confused. It just didn't work. I think it's something that would be great for preseason, but not just yet. Which player should we look out for Tottenham? So no Son, who for me was the major danger man. I do think that Maguire and Lindelof can deal with Harry Kane. They've done it in the past. I don't think their defense are particularly strong, especially if Dyer's there. No one's their keeper. So to be honest, the player I would look out for, and even Mora has not really been particularly great. So to be honest, the player I look out for was actually Bergwijn, simply because Bergwijn, when he came in, was fast, he was quick, and caused us problems. And he scored against us, So, and that was with, I think, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw playing. So I think Bergwijn, who's got the pace and pace, I think can cause us problems. So we need to look out for him definitely. Keep it up, bro. Thank you so much, Official921. If you're new, remember to subscribe. Really appreciate it. I always do these things when you guys are live, and thankfully we're still building a small community. And hopefully, when my work gets a bit not as intense, I'll have a more structured schedule so you guys know when I'm going live, so you can prepare, etc. So it's not just quite ad hoc. But thank you for your support. Martin Oteba says, so joyed getting you on, man. I love your commitment and above all your interact. Oh, thanks, Martin. Thanks, Martin, man. I appreciate it. I do. Thank you for the support, man. Like I want to make this like an interactive community to get involved. Hopefully, more people, more subs and watching can keep on growing. Get some competitions on. That'll be great. I want this all to be about community. At the end of the day, United fans, non-United fans, get involved. Support the channel if you can. Become a member if you want. It goes a long way. It definitely does. Right, let me just round off. So obviously Rashford, Fernandes, Greenwood, and then Martial up top is going to be how we finish. I don't think it's going to change. Van der Beek will probably come off the bench. Same thing will probably be a Gallo for Martial. But the big thing I said for me is that the Bailly must start. If there's any big thing, it's that Bailly must start. That's my big thing. 2 seconds. Let's have a look. Yes, Raymond Moore. How about Matic and VDB in CDM while Pogba playing in the number 10? Bruno can play right wing. Possibly. Has Fernandes really played much as a right winger? I don't know. I mean, this is why we need to get Jadon Sancho. If we're going to get in the belly, I don't know, because I don't like. It's difficult because we've not had a preseason, and while I think it's good that players have adaptability to play different roles, it doesn't help if you haven't had a preseason and you haven't had that exposure, especially in big games. If needs must, then yes. But if we have better alternatives, then we use those better alternatives. And obviously, right now, we don't even have a right winger. We don't. Daniel James was not a right winger; he was a left winger, and Greenwood is actually a striker. We've not had an actual right. That's an indictment. That's why I will say an indictment on the board. That's an indictment on the board in that we haven't got a right winger. The fact that we don't have a right winger at all is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Anyway, guys, as I started to sound off, what are your score predictions? What are your score predictions? My score predictions. I still anticipate that United will win. I think 2-1. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think 2-1. Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes penalty, just to spite Firmino. Bruno Fernandes penalty, 2-1 to Manchester. Harry Kane to score the first goal. My prediction is 2-1 to Manchester United. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments. And let's just read some final comments. Get your final comments and question in before I sound off. Martin and Teba, good lineup. Expect Martin VDB to come from the bench. Exactly. The thing about Mata is that Mata is quite an intelligent player. Yes, he doesn't have the pace anymore, but his link-up play and his 1-2 is very, very important. That's why I feel like his role was at number 10, number 8. This is the thing. We have like 4 number 8/10s now in Fernandes, Pogba, although Pogba may be deep lying, Van der Beek and Mata. They're not right wingers, so you put Mata in that position with Van der Beek and stuff, and it's great. That's what we need. So yeah, definitely. BF on the right, not trying in this game. On the right wing, BF on the right wing, not trying this game. Do you mean Greenwood? What do you mean? As for the transfer, expect Woodward to do a surprise deal like a Garlo kind. That wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm doing a transfer deadline stream actually next week. I think the transfer deadline closes at I think it's 11 o'clock. So I'm going to be live from 10 o'clock in the last hour just covering all the news, and not just United, but just other things as well. And I won't be surprised if on the deadline it's like Josh King to Manchester United. I won't be surprised by that. Rasmus says, my heart says 3-1, but my head says 2-1 Spurs. I don't think that. There's one thing that I know is that United, when I know that Tottenham beat Spurs quite comfortably in the end. But that part of that reason was because Saints played quite a high line, not because Saints played badly. Saints played a high line, struggled to get back, and were punished when Son broke all the time. That was it. So I anticipate in this game that Jose Mourinho, like he always plays, he's going to give United the ball. When we played Spurs before, we've had the ball, we'll have the ball, he'll drop deep, he wants to break. He doesn't have Son, so he's going to break with Bergwijn at et al. With Harry Kane involved to get help. We have better finishers than Southampton, and so as long as we're given the opportunities, we can finish and cause them problems. Is Bale going to start us? No, he's not, because he's still injured. So that for me is the one reason why I'm a bit more optimistic. Bale and Son are out, so. They've got a slight, and Ali's not playing, so they've got a slightly weaker team. So, who knows? Let's go and get Spurs. Let's be optimistic. Pogba and a lot of the United crew are still on the old Jose Mourinho and will still have a point to prove. So, let's go get them. Anyway, guys, we need to try and to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, U9X, and smash the notification button for latest Manchester United news. Keep an eye out for our instant match reaction tomorrow. Fingers crossed we will win.